Shabbat shalom, my brother. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom to all who are watching and just enjoying his rest day. Hallelujah. Um, so I'll just start with some prayer and and we can get started, man. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for this day. Thank you for this week. Thank you for bringing us here together. You blessed us last week with a beautiful testimony of Brother Jason, and we just ask that, just let your Holy Ruach put it on other people's heart to just put out more testimonies, raising up your name, seeing that, showing that what you can do for others in this life. And so we just ask you just to also have your Ruach just kind of bless us in this conversation, have a good conversation with sound speech. Giving you all praise and honor and glory in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. So be it.
So be it.
Hey, brother. So, all right. So today, I know you wanted to do more of your testimony, or there was some things that you forgot. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, there's just a few more, just a little tidy up, and
Oh,
then yeah, just a little tidy up.
and then, and even from there, we were having some a bit of conversation off camera. So, but we could get into other things too, that could really enlighten people, right? In this exchange that we're having. So, where did you want to start, leave off, or start off?
Okay. Let's see. I think I kind of, I kind of ended on, like all the, I was back home, real messed up, but the well, good, the true believer friend of mine had, laid hands on me, and I kind of started going through my process of coming up out of all that. But there was a few more little hiccups, um, and like I didn't, like I completely didn't even get to. I had several like really divine encounters. It wasn't all it wasn't all bad and demonic. It
Mm,
was the other side was present and accounted for too. But okay, so I don't like know exactly the order that this kind of stuff happened in, so I'm just gonna just kind of rapid fire it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, sounds good, man.
okay, like I said, so the red-eyed chick and all that weird, just really overtly demonic stuff was going on, and then I started having issues with my family, and this kind of culminated in there was a situation like me and my brother, my cousin, and my mother were having dinner, and it just went straight off.
Hmm.
Just sitting there eating, and then it goes really sideways. And my brother then he was selling drugs at the time, and he had like all these. He had just re-upped, and he had all these cars out down the driveway. My cousin even had to park across the street, and so that was and then my mother was she had this she was like I said, she was narcissistic. She would gaslight me, and so she always would just act like I'm crazy and I'm making stuff up. So we start getting into it, um, and I'm like, so it's like, what do you think? I was like, why do you think Wendy had to park the car all the way? Why did she have to park across the street and walk 3 minutes to get here? I said, who do you think all those people are lined up in your driveway? You know, I was like, they're out there doing dope in your garage right now. And she's, I don't, it was mocking me like, I don't know what you're talking about, Jason, in a really, that a really demonic. And and I'm sitting here and I was like, Wendy, did you see the 30 cars out front? Did you see all the people out there? I said, what do you think they're doing? You know, So we keep getting into it. Then my brother comes in and he starts threatening me. So I pull the ice pick, and I said, I'm going to give you two choices, because now, like, to preference this, because it makes me sound like super violent and crazy, but, like I said, At this time, I weigh 130 pounds. He's a big dude. Okay, he's a big dude, and he was on meth and steroids at the time, so he was really strong and really amped up from the mix of the two. So we had a lot of very potentially violent altercations. So I pull. He's like, he threatens me. I pull the ass pick, and I was like, you've got two choices. I was like, you can go out there, go back to your dope and your dope hose, or or I'm gonna put this in your neck. And he just goes, and he turns around and walks off. I said, that's the smartest thing you ever did. And of course my cousin's freaking out. And then, my mother's on the couch and she's like, Jason, why are you threatening me with that weapon? And I'm like, that was actually one of our nicer, we weren't even yelling. We were just talking. And it's like, what are you talking about? She said, Jason, you're scaring me. You're threatening me with that weapon. And she's texting on the phone the whole time. So now I was like, I ain't even talking to you, like what? And she just keeps repeating the same thing. So she starts agitating. So I was like, you know what? I'm walking over here. And the whole time she's like, you're scaring me. Don't hurt me. And I'm sitting there going, I'm not even talking to you. Shut up. I was like, I was talking to my brother. I was like, I'm not talking to you. So I get all the way down the hall, as far away from her as I can get in the house. And she just keeps on talking this stupid kind of speech. And she, the whole time, oh, you're scaring me. I'm so scared, And then she starts pulling, she says, my cousin's standing there. She's just like looking back and forth, like, what is going on? Because this is totally nuts. And she says, Jason, I want you to, she's like, bring me that weapon. I said, hell no.
Mhm.
Hell no. I said, I ain't stupid. I said, you're a scared white woman in America. I'm not coming anywhere near you with this weapon. You're scared. You need to be over there. I said, I'm not moving. I'm not moving from here. And then my cousin comes up and she's like, Jason, she's like, are you okay? And I said, are you scared of me? And she looks at me right in my eyes and she says, you're not going to hurt me. I said, yeah, because if you're scared, you need to go over there. So I don't want to be nowhere near y'all. I said, I wasn't even talking to her. I don't know what she's doing right now. She's playing some little game. She's talking stupid. And she's like, come out, she's like, come walk with me. I was like, are you scared? She's like, you're not going to hurt me. So, okay. So we go outside, we have a little conversation, and so we have the conversation, we go back in, Donna continues her little thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. I was like, he's out there with his dope hose. You're sitting there talking weird. I'm going to bed. So
Mhm.
that was it. Normally we'd be breaking stuff and the cops had to get, like, this was a very actually civil, this was as crazy as all that sounds, this was very like vanilla for us. Okay, so go to sleep, I'm getting it in. I just went to sleep. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. And it is like, I was like, I yelled like, someone get the door, boom, boom, boom. Like, no, whole house is just quiet, So I'm in my boxer briefs. So I get up, walk out, and I open the door and I'm like, what? When as soon as I open the door, bro, you're not gonna believe how many cops in flat gear come in. They come in and just have me. I mean, I'm like, I've got guns and tasers in my face and everything, and I'm sitting here, I'm in my drawers, and and I got still slobber, I've got crust in my eyes, like, and I'm sitting here going, is this even real right now? So they're like, they start asking me questions. They're like, you know, are you gonna fight? I was like, no. I was like, I'm not sure how many of y'all I could take down right now, but I was like, I think you got me. So, and like, this should have made me mad. Like, normally, like, I had all the rage and anger, but like, as soon as this happened, this like incredible peace and tranquility just like came over me. Like, so I'm just, I was just like, nah, you got me. And and they're like, okay, all right, you need to get. I was like, oh, I know this one, and I jump around, and I was like, boom. I said, I've been here before. I know the position, so I'm immediately like, and it starts de-escalating. You know, they're like, do you have any weapons on you? And I was like, where would I put that? Some of the cops are, there's like 20 cops. There's the whole yard's filled up. I mean, this is a straight up riot team with the shields and they got the stuff like they was ready to get it. So I was like, oh no, like, why didn't you run? And I was like, well, I didn't know you were. First, I said, first of all, I didn't do nothing. I said, secondly, I didn't know who the hell this was. I said, I didn't know. So I didn't do nothing. You're not gonna fight. No, not gonna fight. You have any weapons? Oh man, are you there? Don't tell me this got busted up, brother. Are we still live? I'm gonna wait.
I don't know what happened.
The devil really don't want this to get out here.
Yo.
The devil does not want this truth out.
So anyways,
we going in.
Yeah, you just froze. So anyways, you know what?
Okay.
We're back on. So you were in your. So they asked you, do you have any weapons? You're like,
yeah. So I'm like up against the wall, legs spread wide, guns still pulled, and everything. Like I got pepper spray guns, tasers. Like I said, they got the shields on. They got the Billy Clay, got it all. Like they came in. I was like, man, this is impressive, And he's like, so yeah, sir, do you have any weapons? And I was like, where would I put that?
Right. Okay.
I said, I ain't been to prison. I said, I ain't got the prison wallet. I said, this is tight right here. Okay, so the one officer starts cracking up, and I said, I was like, oh, you don't believe me? I said, go ahead, give it a pop it, pop that A. And the dude that's trying to put the ankle cuffs on me is dying. He's like, I mean, this is a big joke. This is a big joke at this point. And I was like, go ahead, pop that A. I mean, I'm cutting a total full and owning the room. So he's like, sir, sir, can you please stop long enough for me to get these on you? And I said, I'll allow it. So he gets the cuffs on me. They're asking, like they just keep asking me questions. Like where's everyone at? I'm like, I don't know. I said, I don't know. I said, like so the house, like Don apparently had spent the whole night cleaning up. The house is spotless, bro. There is scented candles lit on the table, and I kid you not. Like I was surprised there wasn't a little tray with cakes and drinks on it. Like this was unreal. They're like, so I was like, what's my charges? And they're like, there's no charges. I said, well, what am I being arrested for? And they're like, this isn't an arrest. I was like, what's going on then? And they said, this is an emergency. This is an emergency order to remove you so that you don't hurt yourself or others. And I was like, oh, I get it. Okay. I see where she went. I said, okay. I said, does this really look like a crisis to you? I said, look at this. I said, is there blood on the wall or anything broken? I was like, there's little scented candles over here. I said, there may be some like snacks for y'all on the counter if y'all go look. So we take it out in the yard, and they keep asking me where everyone's at. And I was like, I don't know. I said, go. I said, bring them out. I said, bring them out here. Now, by this time, so I'm still in just boxers. And the dude's like, where, so, do you have any clothes to put on? I was like, yeah, in my room. And they wouldn't let me go in there to get some. So he's like, I'll go get you some clothes. So he gets me some clothes. He comes back with it was a dude pair of shorts, but my brother's baby mama had some of her clothes in my room. So it's a Hoochie Mama tube top. He brings me a Hoochie Mama tube top. Yeah. So I was like, I really don't want to put that on. I was like, that's not a male garment. Like, I don't want to put it on. And he's like, this is what you got. This is what you're putting on. And I was like, I was like, okay, now at the time, I was like, fine. So I put on the Hoochie Mama halter top. So outside I go in shorts and a straight up Hoochie halter top. Now, of course, this is a small town. Ain't nothing ever happening. So we got people from town are pulling up and lining up down the road, getting out of the car and watching like, so this is in front of everyone I know. Okay. So I'm sitting out here in the yard with the SWAT team in a Hoochie Mama halter top. And the cops are trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Cause like they, you know, like this was supposed to be like a family in crisis. This dude's gone nuts, hostage situation. And they got candles lit and ain't no one's around. No one was home. I don't know where they were. So, you know, I wound up, they take me to the first crisis center. You know, I have to go get a psych evaluation. And this first place was a joke. I didn't know what it was at the time. It was actually a state facility, and it was a state facility that if you get in there, seeing, you know, I don't know about if most people know about legal power of attorney for your medical decisions, but if you're unable to, in the state of Texas, if you're unable to make, if you're by reason of not being mentally capable, someone gets legal power of attorney, and they can force medicate you, put you away forever, whatever. So that's where she was going with that. Yeah, so that went sideways. I know, you know, I worked at the nursing home, so I knew a lot about HIPAA. This chick came in, was trying to BS me, had half a paper filled out. See, and I know, like, they cannot deny you access to your medical records. So I was like, she was asking me like really weird questions, and she asked me one of them. She said, "Do you believe in spooks?" And I said, "Give me that paper." I said, "I want to see what number do I believe in spooks. I want to see that on the paper." She said, "You can't see this." And I said, "Whoa, hang on." I said, "You just got to say you got a big problem now." You know, I said, first of all, you can't deny me access to my information. Secondly, there's writing on that paper and you just got here. I said, that's someone else's document. You've broken my HIPAA, and whoever the hell is on that paper, you've broken their HIPAA too. I was like, I'm fixing to see. I said, and you did it in front of a cop. I said, you're lying to me. You're falsifying information. I said, you need to get up right now, call your supervisor and tell them you have a big problem. I said, because when I get here, I'm suing this whole place. And so she gets up and leaves, comes back, and the whole dynamic changes. Now she's cooperative, still won't let me see the paper. But she's just like, okay, well, she's like, you got to go somewhere. I said, well, it's not going to be here. She said, no, it doesn't have to be here. I said, well, then call someone and get me going. I said, because I'm not staying here. So I go to the other place. It's a voluntary sign in, completely different. The cop that saw what happened, what went down at the first place, they were calling him back, and he's like, I'm not leaving this guy till he gets settled. Like, he would not leave me. He stayed with me. Like, the cops didn't rough me up. You know, they didn't, you know, nothing. They didn't, you know, stomp me out or anything like that. But this cop would not leave me until I was good. They were, you know, they kept telling him to come back, and he says, I'm not leaving this guy. Like, y'all are just going to get someone else to do whatever it is you're talking about, because I'm not leaving him. So he stayed with me the whole time. So I got into that facility. The nurse at this one, she was a believer. So she heard, you know, when I was telling her all this stuff, you know, she wasn't like, oh, you're absolutely crazy. You know, I asked to see my records. She showed them to me, had a recommended plan. I said, what, do I have to take medication? She said, you can. She's like, it's here if you want it. But I was like, so I can take it or not take it anytime. She said, yeah, anytime, no pressure. You know, we can't make you do it. You know, so it was completely optional. She, you know, and as she was asking me my questions, I saw her face screwing up, and she's like, "You're not schizophrenic." And I said, "Is that what?" She said, "Yeah." in Texas, if you're schizophrenic, then legal power of attorney goes to the next of kin, which would be my mother.
Mm.
She wanted to have my rights taken away and have me force medicated because I embarrassed her in front of my cousin. And you don't embarrass her. She's not having it. So there's hell to pay. So this was punishment for me embarrassing her. And that, so she tried to have me locked up and force medicated because that was one of the things that I told her, I didn't want to happen. And I made her swear that she wouldn't, because I had it, something tipped me off that it was ahead of time. And I was like, I talked to her about it and I said, look, don't ever try to have me locked up and force medicated. That's because I told her, I said, I'm serious about Jesus. I'm coming off of everything myself. I said, I don't want that crap. I want to get my life together, and Jesus is going to help me do it. So, and so I made her swear 3 times, and then she pulled this. So in the fake facility, or the voluntary, it's a voluntary admittance. During this, like I said, so I have a psych eval from a licensed institution saying that I'm not violent, I'm not dangerous, I'm not paranoid schizophrenic. So I got, and so now I've got documentation. So she can't just bump her mouth talking about I'm this and I'm that. I passed a drug test. So, that's another thing. She was telling people, he's so violent, he's crazy and high. Well, so I passed a psych eval and a drug test, squeaky clean. So there, the family in crisis thing got squashed because I was straight up with the cops. She lied on look back just a little bit. The cop, before, when I was outside talking to him, he's asking me, he said, so we have a report from your mother saying that you threatened her with a weapon. And I said, that's absolutely not true. I said, I threatened my brother with a weapon. I said, I was like, I'm not saying I'm some kind of, macho, like super, super tough guy, but I was like, I don't need a weapon. If I wanted to physically beat a 50-something-year-old out of shape woman, I don't need a weapon to do it. I said, that's completely false. So I just flat up told him, I said, I threatened my brother. And I just laid the whole thing out there. And, like the whole time they knew I was telling the truth, because who would just make that up? Who would make all this stuff up? So anyways, so I called, finally, the second day they let me call sister, and I told her, I was like, look, I'm in the nut ward. And she thought I was playing. And I'm like, she was laughing and joking. I said, no, listen to me. Donna made her move, and I'm literally in the nut ward. I said, I got pulled out by a SWAT team. I was like, you need to come get me. And she's like, okay, let me find out where you're, so she got me out. So that was, at that point, I got my stuff and I left. And I talked to my brother one time. That was, 10 years ago. I haven't had any contact with her. That was that. I washed my hands of the whole thing. You pulled the last little thing, and that was that. Okay, so that was, I'm going to jump back a little bit. Shortly before that, I was having a really bad night. Really, really bad night. And this is kind of, what's that?
This is before the.
This is before the nut ward situation. I'm kind of.
Sorry, is it like a day before, or is this like a?
No, not a day, but it's not that long before.
Okay.
This, this was kind of the moment that I actually decided. It's weird how it was the point where I decided, like, I don't want to unalive anymore. I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
So, like I said, I'd been reading the word, and I'd been repenting, and like I went straight Old Testament. I burnt stuff. I burnt my Buddha collection and burnt anything that I thought was evil. And like, so I'm in the Old Testament, right? So it's like, okay, I'm going to walk this thing straight down. So I burnt my stuff, took the ashes. I repented in dust and ashes. I know I look nuts. I look nuts doing all this. So, to be fair to everyone else, I guess I did kind of look a little paranoid schizophrenic, but, so I was sitting there, and these, I was reading Psalms and just, going into the word, and I was really feeling it. And these two demons appeared right before me and started talking to me. And they said, they're like, so you're really, so we see, you're reading the word. And I was like, yeah. I said, I was like, yeah, sure am. I was like, I'm gonna, I said, yeah, Jesus is gonna help me. Jesus is gonna save me. And they said, well, it is true that the blood of Jesus can save everybody, but you, and it did. So at this moment, I put the Bible down and I jump up and I just cut a straight full. I was like, woo! No, there's people they're around. I'm just so, but I mean, I jump up and I just left these things to scorn. I was like, y'all are about to tell me that my little bullcrap is outdoes the blood of Christ. Get out of here! I mean, I'm laughing them to scorn, and they just, I said, the next time you come and tell me some stupid stuff like that, I said, I'll tell you what's going to happen. I said, I'm going to start preaching and I'm going to praise until I fall out. And then I'm going to get up, I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to do it again. So I said, come with that stupid. I said, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and I laughed them to scorn, so everybody at that point, they're like, I'm just rebuking them, man. I'm laughing. I was like, oh, liars. I was like, ha, ha. I mean, I was going in, and let me tell you what, they don't come that way anymore. But okay, so then I kind of calmed down from that, and I was sitting there, and I guess it was like, I had a break, I was up and down going through it, and then I was like, the conviction came on me, and I started repenting again, and I was just feeling real down on myself, and I had this vision pop into my mind. I was at my funeral, and my, I was in the casket, and everyone was there, and then I just seen Donna runs up to my casket, putting on this big show. Oh, my poor son, and everyone was giving her sympathy, and she was really putting on it, and I was like, hell no. I said, hell no. And I just immediately, I was like, I got up and wiped. I was like, I said, she ain't throwing herself on my casket. Hell no. That's not happening. That is not going to happen. I said, I'm done with this. So that was when this was before the nut ward, because I was like, I'm getting off. I quit my psych meds. I was like, no more dope. I started eating again. I started doing healthy stuff. I was like, I will outlive everyone. I was like, that is not going to happen. She ain't throwing herself on my casket. Hell no. She is not throwing herself on my casket. So I decided right then I was not going to unalive. So we have the moment of like turnaround. They tried to feed me that, me and my casket, really, doom and gloom. I was like, no, that's not happening like that. Hell no. No. So there was that. Now, I slipped. I had a bad slip. This was apparently before that, because this really turned me around. This is the thing that I really never wanted to tell anybody, because it doesn't make anyone sound good, and I really didn't want to ever have to say it, but I'm going to do it. So I had just, I was reading the word. I'd been up, and and I'm still, like I said, I was still doing dope, and it was, they were messing with me so bad, and they kept on and kept on and kept on, and so I would just do dope, read the word, do dope, read the word, and normally, as I come, it's called geetered out, or some people call it twacked or fried or spun or whatever you want to call it, but I call it geetered out. Normally I can feel it coming on, and I catch it. It's kind of like a psychotic break, but I normally realize that it's happened, so I just go to sleep at that point. This time I didn't catch that it happened. I had no idea that. So I got geetered out, and the demons, my friends were mocking me. The demons were talking out. It was just too much. And I was like, so I got geetered out, and then I thought in my mind, I was like, this dream sucks. This dream absolutely sucks. I was like, I'm not taking this anymore. So I jumped up, and I didn't say it, but I was thinking, I was like, I said, that's it. I said, they're not going to do me like this in my dream. I'm going to go in there and get my katana, and I'm going to hack everyone in the house to pieces, because they're not going to do me. I was like, it's not even going to matter. But I'm not taking this in my dream anymore. I'm done. I'm done with it. And I thought it was harmless because this is my dream. I'll wake up. They'll still be stupid. So I'm like, I just kind of giggle, and I do an about face, and I walk in to I go to get my katana. So I walk in the room. Katana's leaning up on the wall. It falls over. It just fell over, and I was bending down to pick it up. And before I could touch it, I felt a hand just touch my back. And immediately all the strength went out of my body. I went limp, and just, I was standing up. I didn't like crumple, but I just, all the strength went out of me, and I was falling like flat on my face. And I was like, wow, and my eyes were barely cracked. And I was like, man, this is gonna suck. Because I couldn't even brace or anything. I was just falling like a dead man, straight on my face. Right before I hit, boom. I'm in warm, loving arms, and I mean, warm, loving arms are just holding me. And it's, at this point my eyes are closed. I'm not out of it yet. I can just, and I'm just picked up and just held in this loving embrace. And when I say loving, I mean like it was flowing through my body, like just it's hard to describe in the physical. It wasn't angry, it wasn't aggressive. It was just like it just had me. Like I had no strength. Like it just completely had me. Warm, loving arms, and it just held me, and I just completely, I can't open my eyes. I didn't see it, but I felt it. It was warm, loving arm, like, and you just feel the love just going through your body. And and I was like, I said, it's you. And then nothing, no response, no words, no fiery rebukes, no crazy demonic stuff. Just warm, loving arms held me, and I said, it's you. And then I just went to sleep. I was out. So I came to 2 days later. I wake up in my bed, tucked in, not on my face. I never hit the ground. Right before, boom. And then, so 2 days, it's two whole days later. And I knew the second I woke up, I was like, oh crap, that wasn't a dream. And I almost killed everyone in my house. And I was going to do it because it didn't matter. I didn't realize I didn't realize I had gone over, but I was tucked in my bed, and it's still the feeling in my room. It was charged. Mm-hmm. Like that loving feeling was still there, and I didn't want to leave it. It felt so good. And so I laid there, and I'm just going, I'm freaking out a little bit. And I was like, that really actually happened. My sword was propped back up. It was back where it was supposed to be. And I stayed there so long that I almost chose to pee the bed because I didn't want to leave that feeling.
Wow.
So yeah, that was that encounter. And then there was another one. I was kind of having a meltdown out in my front yard, and I was trying to take revenge on my family, and I was trying to. I wasn't going to kill them, but I was trying to set something up where they would get hurt, and I kept getting stopped. Like, and it was obvious that something was like everything I tried. It was blocked. And I got, I was angry. So I'm out in my yard, and I'm like, why can they do everything to me, and I can't even defend myself? And I'm just having a moment, crying out, just talking to Jesus. I'm laying it out for him, and I'm going in. I'm a hot mess on the, out in the yard. And all of a sudden, this woman that I've never seen her before in my life, she's walking by, and she just walked straight up to me, and she's like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, it sucks. I can't do anything. I'm being blocked. And I'm just, and she's just sitting there smiling at me, and she goes, "Well, how about try something else?" And she just gives me like this warm smile. And you know what? I'm sitting there. You know what? It takes me a few minutes to register. By the time she's turned around and there's a bush at the end of the driveway. She just kind of like walks around the bush, and I just stop and I'm like, wait a minute, who the hell's that? And I jump up and I run out there to I was like, I'm gonna go talk. I was like, who is this woman? I've never seen her before in my life. Nobody there, completely gone. You know, I was like, okay, okay. Now back to I don't know if this is an angelic encounter, but it touched me. It touched me at a time I really needed it.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, here we go. Get this, and this is the last thing. This is the last thing. So, uh, so yeah, okay. Before they checked me in to the second facility where I got this paper, my discharge. Um, I was like, I'm done with this hoochie mama halter top, so I took it off. So I'm sitting in here shirtless, and there's this guy and this girl, but man and woman, they're not that young. Man and woman, they're checking out, and they're like, hey man, what's going on? Why don't you have a shirt? And I said, man, and I just told him the story, and he's like, and he has a lot. He's like having all this sympathy for me, and he's like, man, I'll tell you what. He's like, we lost our house, and me and my wife are getting clean, and we're living out of the car right now. He said, and I only have 3 or 4 shirts. He said, but I'm gonna get you one. And he goes out. This dude's living out of his car. He's in just as bad a shape as I am. He goes and gets a shirt. One of the few shirts he has, like they're living out of the car together. Their life's in shambles. And this dude goes and gives me almost his last shirt, so I don't have to sit there with my clothes off looking crazy. And he gives it to me, and and it broke me. It broke me. And I was like, that's more considerate. So between like I've had the warm loving arms, and then the angel visit, and now this dude, you know, and I was just, I'm sitting here blubbering, and he's hugging me, you know, they're going through it. He's hugging me. He's living out of his car, and he gives me a shirt. And I don't know if that guy was an angel or not, but I think he was. So, bro, if you ever run across this, and that's you, please hit me up. That
Bro,
that
brother.
that like that really, that was the love of the Father. In like, he had me the whole time. And here's this dude worse off than I am, and he went and gave me one of his last few shirts. He's living out of his car. So,
Yo, brother, man, I tell you, man, I'm listening to your testimony, bro, and I'm thinking about my testimony, and like, bro, my gosh, I never really told my testimony to anybody. Never really shared it online, but who knows, mine might have to come out too, because, geez, when you said the loving arms, like when you felt that love, like there's that one thing that just hits you, man, as you're trying to get right. It's so funny. I was talking to my foreman, right? I was talking to my foreman a couple of days ago. He's also, and I guess when I'm saying this, like he's believes in Jesus, God fearing. He's Catholic, but I'm not, I'm not trying to get into that debate there or that discussion there. But we talk, we chop it up. A cool guy, you know what I mean? Um, we sometimes I have my jokes on him too, but he's a very good guy, man, very good guy. So we're talking about like going back to the gym, right?
mm,
And I said, yeah, man, if you work out, like like you put on muscle fast, you know what I mean? And the thing is, though, the one thing about the gym, and this was anything in life, but the one thing about the gym that you need, right, especially if you have a vision to be really athletically built, your mind has to be right.
100%.
Your mind has to be right. And of course, with your testimony, like that's what it is too. Like you're trying to get your mind right. Like all this stuff happening to you, and you believe that it's supposed to be this way, or you believe that it's the only this is the only way. And then just to kind of alleviate you on your way, that hug. Right there, right? That a hug. I felt that one, bro. That one touched me, bro. That one touched me right
It,
here.
it should. And like, man, I wish I could. I wish there were words to describe what it's like. You're held. It's like the essence of, like I said, it vibrated the room. It put such a good feeling. I mean, it's like you're in the arms of the essence of love, and it's the light is like, it's light, but it's a vibration. It vibrated every cell in my body. Like it's indescribable. It is absolutely indescribable, and it came in the moment when I was about to kill everyone in my house because they weren't going to mess with me in a dream.
Hallelujah.
Okay, so this little paper here, I did not even remember. This is my discharge paper. There's like little questions they ask you. You have to do them, and it's just kind of little red tape stuff. But the answers, I don't even remember doing it. But I was straight up legit honest, and it's very interesting what I put. So this is the suicide prevention plan questions. Now this is where this is 10 years ago. This is 2014. So in 10 years, this is,
Wow.
and my top reasons for staying alive are, and it's one, that's the little 3 questions. Number 1, Jesus has a plan for me, and it's not dying. Number 2, now this is the best I could come up with after that. If I die, my dog would miss me. 3.
All right, hold on.
If
No,
I die,
no.
take this one out. Check this one out. You remember that thing I talked about in the last testimony? Like I wanted something real. That's a recurring theme in my life. I wanted something real. Number 3, if I die, I will never have a real family.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. How come that was,
I do not even remember doing it.
wait, hold on. How come that was number 2?
Hey, bro, so you have to fit. Like, this is where I was at. Yeah, like these answers completely. But I was like, I don't even remember doing these papers. But I mean, I was. See, this was. I was in such a spirit. I was like, I'm going to tell the truth. I don't care what I sound like. I don't care who don't like it. I don't care what you say. My truth will be out here, and you can just. It's going to be what it's going to be. But I was like that with Jesus. I was like that with the cops. I was like that with everybody, and I still like that to this day. And I get a lot of mixed reactions from it, and it's sometimes it goes sideways, but sometimes it really impacts people.
The truth sets
Okay.
you free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that one's kind of stupid, but all right. The last paper. Positive self-talk, affirmation, and meaningful to me, and helps decrease suicidal feelings, etc. Okay. Number 1, if I kill myself, then everyone else will be happy. Okay. Number 2, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Okay, that's kind of like a common little saying. But number 3, I refuse to make everyone else happy despite myself. All right, then the next section. 3 things I agree to do to nurture, take care of myself. Each day, say something positive in the mirror. Now, I'm going to tell you, this one was probably the most hard. This was the most hard. I actually, the first day, I wasn't able to do it. I would go to say something, and I would literally choke. I was gagging, choking. I could not say anything, nothing. And it took me a while to even get through that, to even just say a basic thing. So that was actually huge. All right, number 2, exercise and find a calming activity to do daily. I started walking. I would just walk and talk to Jesus. And I mean, sometimes I would be like 10, 15. I would walk for 6 hours. I would just talk to Jesus. That's, and I still like to walk and do that. That's like my time.
Hallelujah. Yes.
Number 3. Now this one, start going to church. Start going to church.
Is that last one? Is that what led you to?
Yeah.
I see. Wow. All
that led me.
Pieces coming together now. Hey, oh my God.
That led me to a ministry. Yes, that led me to a ministry. Yes, sir. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, this is a process. We have to walk. We got to go through it. The high, the low. We got to go through we went through it. We went through darkness. We went through death. We went through all that. And like I said, bro, like 10. That's just 10 years ago. in 10, like I went, I'm, you know,
Wow, bro. All the puzzle pieces are coming together now. That's amazing. Wow. That's
hmm
so cool for me on my side because I mean I've been knowing you for a while, so
that's right.
so that's cool to like for me to like kind of just to really see it now in play.
hmm
So testimonies are amazing, man. It's a great testimony you have, brother. A real good one. You
Yeah.
know.
Hey, I'm gonna let it, let y'all decide what to, but tell you what, just the, I had to really reel myself in, especially about the dude giving me the shirt and the warm loving arms thing. I was like, I'm not gonna break down. I'm not gonna break down, but man, it's like that, just of it, like just the whole idea of it happening. Um, I didn't, like I never thought at that, really like mentally where I was at. I didn't even know if I didn't even know if Jesus was really listening to me. I didn't know if I was too far gone. I mean, I said that, I mean, I mocked the demons and stuff, but I was like, I had no, like, he can judge either way. But I was like, at the very least, I was like, I'm gonna Hail Mary it and just believe, and and I, this is all I've got left. I mean, I was to the, this was all I had left. Like, this was like my plea to the Father, you know. And like I said, I mean, I was burning my stuff. I mean, I went straight Old Testament. If it said ashes and sackcloth, that's what I did. And I'm literally, and I'm dirt and ashes, and I meant it. I meant it.
Hallelujah.
I smashed all. I burnt. If it didn't burn, I smashed it. You know, and buried it. Put it all away from me. And yes, I mean, I walked it out like as literally as I could. And you know, y'all heard me. You heard me.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Man, I'm just thinking about like all the stuff you said, the katana you about to drop,
Yeah,
and then he catches you,
yeah.
and you said it's you. That's just so beautiful. That's
Bro,
amazing.
it's like, like I said, I was so like I said, like I wish there was better words to describe. Like I said, it was like it was light and energy. Like going just through your whole body, like it diffused through you, like you're just vibrating. I can't describe it. And I was just like, as I said, I was just like, I went, it's you.
Yeah, man. Because this reminds me, Simone Biles, the gold
Yep.
medalist. And I don't know did you hear her recent comments?
No, I haven't.
She's okay. I don't know the whole thing, but she said her husband is the prize. That's what she said, right? And then a lot of people. Well, I mean, I guess if you want to say Jezebels, or just a lot of women. I guess they didn't like how she said that, right? Because I guess she's such a star. It's like you're the one that's doing it all. But it's funny to me. It's funny to me because we know if it was the other way around, it's like, oh, it's okay. I mean, the hypocrisy just runs rampant up in this world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even with that though, it's just like, okay, so her husband is a prize, and it's like, what is the most valued thing that we need in this life, right? Relationships. We
Yeah.
need that relationship. I mean, it's part of the whole essence of the book, right? From beginning to end, right? Bringing us back all the way to Him, so we can, build that garden or have dominion with Him and our family, right? Because, sure, let's just say, with the woman, right? Like, or even with the man, like, what is a man's greatest possession, right? It's his family. I don't see nothing else being higher than that, right? I mean, of course, sorry, let me say Christ first, but you understand what I mean, just for conversation's sake. I
Right.
mean, like having that relationship, like that is the most important thing. Because why? You can't get another life, another one of these lives. This is the only time to spend with each other here and now, and it's crazy how like I guess I don't know if you want to say demonic or just or just just a whole lack of love, or understanding of love from so many people. They get offended over that. So
Yeah,
my thoughts on
I can't say I really understood. I never really understood. Like I said, my father committed suicide, and then I didn't have my grandparents were great, and they did love me. Anything remotely good that got deposited in me was from them. They were both amazing. My grandmothers were amazing examples of what a woman should be in the household. My grandparents they were saints in my eyes. They never did anything wrong. I mean, I couldn't have picked any better than both sets of my grandparents. They really did love me. So I mean, I had that. But as far as like immediate family, like I said, that everyone's oh, the bond between a mother and child. I don't understand that. I still to this day, it's like something I saw. I can look at it and say that's what it's supposed to be like, but no, there's nothing there. Nothing. Um, but I do know the love of the Father now.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And especially, I like how one of your affirmations was to think on positive. And I know you were having trouble with it. And we also spoke about that when we were too harsh on ourselves, right? I think you were struggling with that. But
Yeah.
correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
No, that is a huge pitfall that I have. Still, I mean, it's hard to overcome that with a lifetime of like this was strategically orchestrated. Like these things were on me my whole life. I can see, like it in hindsight. This wasn't just like little random crap that I'm looking for connections to make. Like these things were on assignment. I don't know, like, and this the whole time I'm like, okay, I understand that I understand that these things are what they are, and they're trying to take me out. But like, why is so much effort dedicated to a little nobody like me? Like I'm nobody. Like that I never could wrap my mind around it. It didn't make any sense.
Hmm.
But like there was this was a lot. It was a lot going on. These things did not want me to live. And through it all, like I said, like there's so many times like just crazy stuff would pop up. And I mean, I've car crashes that now that I've heard an audible voice twice. Once was uh, this is how I found out what my mother was doing to me. About her being a narcissist. I kind of just showed up at the house one day, and I was walking in, and I heard of like I'm looking. I actually looked to see if someone said it, but it was a whisper in my ear. It said, "Be still, listen." I had been praying I prayed to God, and I was like, "Look, I don't know why all this stuff. It looks weird. It seems like people are messing with me, and that's where a lot of the anger come from." And it said, "Be still, listen." And I heard my mother on the phone talking to my aunt, and she was doing it. She would like tell me a time for a family gathering, and she would either be tell me she would tell me late, she would tell me the wrong time. So I would show up, and everyone would be like, "Where have you been?" And I was like, "I'm on time. What are y'all talking about?" And I was like, I'd tell her, be like, "Hey, you told me this time." And she's like, "No, I didn't, Jason." She was gaslighting me. She was making me look crazy, and she did it my whole life. And I heard her do it. And I was like, I'm gonna see if she feels bad about it or anything. So the second she hung the phone up, I rounded the corner, and I said, "Hey." And then she just as calm as anything. Now there's something struck me at this moment. She just called. She's like, "Hey, baby," and she walked up and she kissed me on my forehead with her lion ass lips. And let me tell you what, the revulsion I felt at that moment, it was worse. It was worse than any of the sins I committed. And I truly do feel horrible about the things that I got into. But that kiss on my forehead with those lion lips, that made me feel dirtier than anything. And she'd been doing it. I was like, I cannot believe she kissed me with that lion mouth. And I heard her do it. I never told her that I heard that, but that audible voice, because I was like, what's going on? Like I get the effects of what's going on, but I was like, is it me? I kept asking, I kept praying. And when I walked in, I heard, "Be still, listen."
Mm.
And I heard her do that. And then my whole life made sense. So see, then like I got mad at everyone else because I thought they were messing with me all the time. I was like, why is everyone just messing with me all the time? Why they look like I'm, because she was telling them one thing, telling them, and then when I asked her about it, she was lying and saying she didn't do that. She did it to me my whole life, made me look crazy, made me look unstable, kept me angry. She did it and I heard it out of her own mouth. And just a little voice, you still listen.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have.
And then the second time I heard an audible voice. It don't happen all the time. It's not like I'm sitting around and the heavens crack and a voice, Jason, go. That's not what it's like. I've heard an audible voice twice. Second time, yeah, when I was little, my brother was with his dad, and he had gotten in a drunk driving accident. And there was a message on the phone. So she's frantic. We get in the Mustang. And I never wore a seatbelt. I just never did. Never wore a seatbelt. So she is tearing down the driveway super fast, And before we turn out on the dirt road, I hear a voice in this ear: put on your seatbelt. So I click it. 3 seconds, boom! We hit the tree. It's a huge oak tree. We hit it like she was going over 60 miles an hour. It hit on my side. I would have gone through the windshield and hit a tree. But because of the voice, I put on your seatbelt. So and then on top of that, like after the wreck, I just opened the door and get out. Like, no big deal. Well, they were trying to get in the car for something. They were trying to get in that door. It never opened again. They couldn't get it off with the jar. It was stuck. They're like, how did he get out? I just opened the door and got out, but it never opened. They couldn't even get it off with the jaws of life. They had to crawl in the other door. So I mean, there's like, my life is peppered with this kind of stuff.
Wow. Hallelujah. That is crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, I was always, no matter how crazy it got, man, something was always there.
Yeah, there's something with that narcissist spirit though, man. Like there's just something about it, especially you want to say narcissistic mothers, you know what I mean? Like, cause that kiss, I know what kiss you're talking about, bro. Like I felt it too, man, and I got angry. I
Yeah,
got angry, man.
that's what I'm saying. The rage. I was, bro, it took me years to even figure out. I had no idea where it was coming from, but I was sitting there one day, and my head was hurting so bad. I was like, I am so angry. Why am I so angry? And then it just occurred to me, and I was like, it's her. I was like, I absolutely hate her. And I didn't know why, but I was like, I know where all of this rage is. I was like, I hate her. It's her. But it took me years to even find that out. But yeah, I mean, it was like, anger. It would ping pong from anger to depression, despair. But then when the rage hit, like, I mean, it was intense. It made me sick. I was so angry and had so much hatred that I physically felt like I was going to die.
Yeah, man. And the thing is though, once I figured out my source of all my issues, and then I got even more upset at myself. I'm just like, I'm getting mad at everybody else, and I'm just like, there's just one person the whole time. And once you cut off that source, everything started to flow. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. But hey, I'm just glad I still kept seeking the Father's face regardless. Throughout my trials and tribulation, like you. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's probably the biggest lesson to really come out with this is that you if you keep that search, that seeking up, seek you first the kingdom, it will manifest in your life. Definitely, it definitely will. It will
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
It's hard. It is so hard to do coming from that place. Like, because you're reading in the word, faith, words like faith and the love of the Father, true love, like these concepts, it was so far from, I'm like, what is that? What is that even? What is that? The love of the Father. What is that?
Now you're
The love,
speaking.
love of the mother. What does that even mean?
No, now you're speaking here, man, because that is something so true. Because yeah, you're going to church, But then like you said, then the SWAT team comes in and takes you out. Why? Because apparently or whatever, stop threatening me. And it's
Yeah,
just like, I'm not even, I wasn't even talking to you. But then making it somehow changing the whole narrative about them, right? And then you're thinking like God, do you exist?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would talk to him like he was sitting right there. I was like, everything else in the world is talking. All these creepy things are talking. So I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to Jesus. So yeah, I'm gonna get mine in.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I knew that there was a God. I just didn't understand who he was. I didn't understand anything about him. But if those things were real, surely there's something else. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I know there's a God. I just got to figure out who he is, what he's about, and if I can get into contact with him. So I had to do it. So I was like, I'm not going to end my days listening to this crap anymore.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing resolve, brother. You got, man. Like, I have to say, I'm impressed with your strength through all this. Like, it's it's truly Yah's with you, man. Like, that's amazing. He really is with you, and and for you to still keep strong and still hold fast. Um, and I'm gonna tell you something here. I'm gonna tell you something here. For some reason, right? This happened to me before when speaking to you. I'm just like, I don't know why. But it's like, for some reason, I can see Brother Jason being a pastor. I don't know why that hit me. But hey, I don't know. I'm not prophesying, but I'm just saying that kind of hit me one day. So,
I tell you what, I got the opposite effect. Like people do not flock to me to hear the word. But I can empty a room. If if you want people to get out, give me a mic and give me 30 seconds.
oh, everybody going to hell?
Right.
Everybody going to hell?
I tell you what, like I have folks run like they running. Now they love the feel good part. They got that. But let me tell you, when I start talking about keeping the commandments and stuff, boy they done. Oh, let me tell you, yeah, that little thing. One thing I noticed, I saw, kind of back to it, like before it really blew up. They had just kind of started. You know, I just landed back home. Everything was crap, but it hadn't really blown up. There was a point where the demons just broke it all broke loose. So remember I told you I had that group, and it was just to talk about paranormal experiences and just anything else you wanted to share, and the weird stuff in the world, weird feelings, like there's something going on. It's kind of like that. And I was sitting there, and I've been reading the Old Testament, and I was like, I'm in the laws of Moses right now, and I was like, and I know I'd been skipping back and forth, and I was like, I can't find anywhere in here where we're not supposed to be keeping Seventh Day Sabbath and like clean foods, and like at this point, like I said, I hadn't even done it yet. When I said that, that's when everything started. It blew up. That was the catalyst, and I hadn't done nothing yet.
Hmm.
So let me tell you what, the creepy crawlies, they real, and they do not want you doing biblical Sabbath. They didn't care about religion. They didn't care about believing in God. They didn't care about the buddy Christ, with the sloppy grace. They didn't care about all that. They were fine with that. They'll sit there and tell you about the sloppy grace. But when you start talking about actually keeping the commandments and doing it, they were not having it. They were not. And I was like, I didn't get it because I was like, I ain't even done it yet. I was like, I just said, I was like, I just think we should I think we should still be doing this. I don't think it's done away with, and that was like, it was nuts, man. Like we was on the ride after that. So like
What do you think?
all the, huh?
What do you think that is? Why is that when you start talking about the Ten Commandments, and again, the
Mhm.
commandments don't save us. I totally get that, right? But
Right.
it's like okay, I am Lord thy God. I'm the one that you worship. Okay, cool. Do not have no other gods before me. Okay, no problem. Do not make any graven images. Okay, we go with that, right?
Mhm.
Honor your father and mother next. Yeah, I think honor thy father and mother. Okay. Yeah. No. I think Sabbath's next. Sorry. So no, keep the Sabbath day. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Okay. Just one
Yep.
day rest. Honor your father and mother. Okay, no problem. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Okay, pretty simple, and definitely effective. And then
Hmm.
do not covet your neighbor's housewife, right? So yeah, don't be jealous, or don't try to say, "Oh, I want his stuff."
Yeah.
It's not that, you know what I'm saying? It don't seem that difficult. But the thing is, though, why is it? And this is what I think it is. Because when with those laws, what they're meant to do is that they're meant for you to keep out all types of evil. And
Hmm.
so the evil cannot run if you're really striving to keep those laws. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right. Well, because you're in obedience. You're in obedience to the Lord your God, your Creator, and now, see, now you're not defiled. Now you're in a position where He's closer to. He's close to you, but they know they have to keep us in disobedience because they know that He's holy and He is who He says He is. So if you're in disobedience, there's that's the only way they have a wiggle room in. They have to have you eating disgusting things. They have to have you in a state of sexual uncleanness. They have to have you worshiping everything under the sun, so that they can, in the heavenly courts, Satan goes, he don't even, this is my servant, and see, so like, Jesus is he's the legalist. He's right. Like, he's righteous. He's holy. His law, it matters. It matters a lot.
But what I don't understand is that, like, if you're part of God's nation, it's a nation. Okay, no problem. What nation in the history of the earth does not have any laws?
Exactly. and,
Like,
and people will follow. They will follow them no matter how stupid or crazy they are. So, yeah, look at the mask crap. Oh, one mask, two mask, three mask, blue mask, 6 feet. They got measuring tapes out. Boy, they will do that. They will do that. But I mean, in a lot of the commandments, like, well, what? I'm looking through it. I'm looking through it, and I'm like, what is in this law that is so outrageously impossible to do? What? Not have sex with a close relative? Uh, not rape, not murder, not steal, not bear false witness, not worship another god. What's so crazy? Don't drink blood. Don't do necromancy. Don't, like, what is so, what is that? Do people want to do so bad that is just unreasonable? Like,
exactly.
I don't get it. I don't get the, they talk about, oh, the bondage of the law. Don't bang a close relative. Is that hard for you not to do? Like, what in the law is unreasonable,
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
bro? Like, I don't get it. But like, you start talking about that law, boy, and these things get hot. I mean, circumcision. So what? So what? People stretch their nose hole this big, and their ear gauges, and they cutting stuff off, and they get tattoos and implants and horns and all kinds of crap. And you're that upset about a turtleneck? Nah, man. Like,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
you know, we can have, sex changes. We can cut the whole thing off and make a whole different thing, and we can do any of that stuff, and that's fine. They're for that. They're for sex changes on minor children. But you talk about a circumcision, and people, they lose it. They absolutely lose it.
Yeah. I know.
So
Because it's an 8 month. No, it's an 8 day. Because after the 8th day, right? They circumcise the child, and it's like, yeah, I don't get it either. It's crazy. I don't know. You know.
yeah,
I know. I know. My brother, my elder Ak, when he was on my show, he believed that many women will be going to hell, just I guess based on, I guess how they the norm, you know what I'm saying? Because they truly, like, most of them don't follow the Bible because they feel like it controls them, stuff like that, right? So,
yeah,
you know, and that's a tough one for me to really agree on, because, like, again, maybe it's just a speculation. So I mean, if you're speculating that, that's fine, you know. Um, it could be a bit of a disputable matter. It could be, because then I mean, are you counting head coverings and stuff like that? But head coverings should not determine if you're gonna go to the lake of fire. I mean, I wouldn't think so, right?
I can't say that would be a determination that I came to based off of the text. No.
Right. Yeah. You know. Oh, I thought it was falling. Yeah, you know, and so and again, like I'm cool with conversations like that. I like having conversations like that because then he brought up a good point too. In the New Testament, it talks about Joseph, not Joseph. What's the other one? Elizabeth, and that was John the Baptist's mother. I think it was Zechariah or Zephaniah. I'm not too sure. Elizabeth's husband. Do you know? Remember?
Less knowledgeable about the New Testament, to be honest.
Okay, no big deal. No big deal, man. So, but they kept all of the Most High's laws, statutes, and ordinances. I believe it was, or something like that. So, even like in, um, even like King David, follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Oh, sorry, King Solomon that was given that instruction. To follow the law, statutes, and commandments that David your father, like walk in his ways, right? So it's like there is something with like with that establishment. I guess due to the historic events that have happened, these things had to be established, even though they were already there, but just to kind of give the people a instruction here, here are your instructions. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And like the law, like they had to have it because at that time, see now on this side of it, we have Jesus, we have the perfect atoning blood. At that time, they only had animal blood, so they had to walk a tighter line. Like it had to be because because Jesus is the perfect sacrifice. See, all they had was animals, so it was complete. It's different for them. It's the same covenant, but we have a far greater sacrifice. So that's where we have grace. See, that's what the grace should be. It should be like we don't have to suffer the immediate just like smitings, because animal blood it covers, but it doesn't take away. So there has to be a severe punishment like right then. See, with Jesus, it takes it away. There's no more sin. Animal blood just covered it. See, so that's what when they talk about the new covenant versus it is still the same covenant, but the perfect sacrifice, we have that on this side of it now. So I don't like that sloppy grace. Like, Jesus did not go through all of that so that we could say, Jesus, my bad, wink wink, and then go eat, go play the harlot and fill up on pork.
exactly.
No, I just not no, bro. That's not gonna fly. And that's what in Revelation it says that he's like, there's many that are gonna in that day come and say, Lord, Lord, we've done all these things in your name, and he's going to be, depart from me, you worker of iniquity, I never knew you.
Hey, speaking of that one, man, like, 'cause that was also in Mark 16, right? Did we not cast out devils in your name? Did we not do this in your name?
Yeah.
He's gonna say, Lord, depart from me, I never knew you. And I thought about that, man. I'm just like, well, how would you? I was meditating on that, bro. I was meditating on that for the longest while. I'm just like, how would he know? Like, how is he gonna know? Or what's the determining factor? Why is that such a determining factor? I didn't get it. I didn't understand. Like what? Like so. Anyways, I kept looking and meditating and meditating. And for some strange reason, bro, you spoke about the narcissism, right, in your testimony, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going on YouTube, right, and so I see narcissistic this, narcissism. Oh, there's 5 ways. You get those videos. I'm just like, and usually I'll just skip over them. I don't care. But I'm just like, yo, someone told me like, yo, start watching some of these videos. So, I just start watching them, and I'm like, and I'm listening to them. I'm like, yeah, true, yeah, I understand that. And every video always helps because it's like, okay, I can understand that the narcissistic person, they were just in it for themselves, right? And I know it was just about like it was about them in a relationship. So I understood that. And then one day, bro, I remember I was talking to myself, right? And I was like, I had to tell myself about the person, right? I'm like, this person that was a narcissist in my life, right? And then I said, I have to be real with myself. I never knew that person.
Right. It was that's where that idea got stuck in my head about wanting something real. I knew, like I was like, I want something real, and that was, like I said, that always. I was like, I'm tired of the fake crap. I'm tired of the bull crap little system. I'm tired of all the red tape. I was like, I want something real. I want a real family. I want real relationships. And if I can't have it, then I'm just going to do whatever I want, and then that's where the devil came in. And I was like, if all I can have is fake, I'm going to do whatever I want, whenever I want. And I did.
And
So, the real, not having something real.
and let me tell you something. Even in the comments are saying the same thing. That people that come out of those relationships, what they don't realize is that they never knew that person.
Yeah.
And so,
They're mourning and they're broke up. Oh, the relationship. You never had a relationship.
right.
That was, the whole thing was fake.
Okay, brother, do you see what you just said there?
Yeah.
Now go now pair that with Mark 16, 15 to 17. And it answers the question right there and then.
See, I never knew you. It's intimacy. See, the old covenant. The old covenant. See,
Yo,
this is
you
what
just answered it. That was it.
people don't look. People don't. This is what people. I like, bro. Like, I poured myself into the old covenant. And I was like, I get this. I get this now. Like, it's intimate. I am the Lord your God. Before the foundations of the world, before the foundations of the world, I knew you. I formed you. I created you. I knew you. That's why Jesus was like, hey, you believe what I said because I said that, but I know you. Like, this is the Lord your God you're talking to. Like, this is he spoke every, like, you don't, no, there's no God in any history, and I searched into a lot of them. There's no God anything like that. This not only is he the Lord your God, he loves you and he wants an intimate relationship with you. He hears you. He loves you with this indescribable love. Like I said, like I don't even have words to describe it. Not only does not because people are like, oh, God's just up, he's up there just floating on a cloud. He don't give a crap. Like, no, that is so not it. Like, he wants you. He the creator of everything wants you. The first and greatest command, like, you will love the Lord your God with all your strength. That is the saddest commandment in the book. If you think about it, the fact that this being, this being, this all powerful, eternal, everything being, has to command his creation to love him. That is the saddest command in the whole book. It breaks my heart. Oh God, like, to even think about it. He has to command us to love him. He wants to be with us in such an intimate relationship that he has to command that.
It's a tough.
It's hard to wrap my mind around. Like, it's hard. Like, people out there, they're so angry at God. That's why he says, the world, they're going to hate you, but they hated me first. They rejected me first. I made all this. I knew before the foundations of the world. He knew every one of us. He created. He breathed the breath of life into the idol the dust that we were made from. Every breath that you have, he breathed the ruach into a lump of clay and made you, and he has to command you to love him.
I made a mistake. Sorry, I said Mark 16, and that was one. That's the one where it's and these who believe they will cast out demons in my name. This is that's that. What I'm talking about is in Matthew 7, right? And so many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name? And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works, right? And then I'll pass on to them, I never knew you, depart from me, ye that work iniquity. So,
Right.
So now back to the narcissist, right? Because again, what was it about? All it was about for them was just the power. It was never about being, like you said, having a real relationship with each other. But look at here. We prophesied in your name. We cast out devils. We did many wonderful works. Power. I couldn't believe I never, because I was not understanding it at first, right? So it's like, oh shoot, now it really makes sense. some
Hmm.
people just like they come here and they get like in Pastor Robertson spoke about it, like they just want to rain down fire on people and blah blah blah, and it is tempting.
Yeah.
It it is tempting because I can understand why they do it because some people run their mouth too much. You know what I'm saying? And so I mean, I, I yeah, no, listen. I feel for some of these people, man. You know, some people run their mouth too much, and I can understand why they're like, yo, let's start praying on these people, but like not like a not a good not a warmful prayer. It's a warring type of prayer. So I understand, but of course we gotta be bigger than that, and hold our peace. And Romans 12:18, right? Or sorry, 12:19, vengeance is mine, I repay, said the Lord. So
Yeah. Yeah. Like, like I said, I've literally been stopped and blocked from doing stuff. And I mean, like, that's what, when the angel came up to me and was smiling and just like, I was in my mess. I was having a moment. I was like, I want to do this and I can't. I mean, I was having a straight up tantrum, like a straight up tantrum. And, yeah, and just, well, try something else. I just straight walked off into wherever. I was like, well, okay, I guess I'll just try something else.
yeah, sure, let's do it.
Stop trying to take vengeance and go do something else.
Yeah, because why is that? Because the power comes from him anyways. So all your casting out devil, I casted out one devil, so I need two to make it devils. So eventually I'll get there. So yeah, so that the power right comes in also preaching and connecting with people, wisdom, the
Yeah.
the nine what do you call it? Gifts, right? You start getting the gifts, right, of the Holy Spirit, and so all that those are all power based skills, right? So people start to get those skills, and then especially when you know the truth and you want to destroy somebody, you will know you could manipulate, right? That's how some of these lawyers are able to manipulate the system
Hmm.
and truly can truly ruin someone's life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but of course, Christ can do that too with the law, but it's for love. It's like because I don't want you going there. So, you know,
Right.
real grace.
Yeah.
You know,
He wants his creation to be with him. He not only with him, not just like in the midst. He wants to be in you. He wants to inhabit you. So it's so much more intimate. It's not even just like, oh, I got a God over here talking. Like, no, he wants, you're the temple. He wants that. That's what. How much more do you want? People. They're like, oh, I feel alone. I just want meaning in my life. Like, the Lord your God wants to be in you. How much more intimate do you want to get?
it's a process, though, man. It is 'cause I know I'm talking to a brother right now at work, and he's been saying he's been looking for signs to, when this calling is being made. But I'm telling him, look, your girl's talking to you. I'm talking to you. You have a teacher, and now you got another guy here talking to you. So there's some pretty telling signs there. You know what I'm saying? So, but who
Hmm.
knows? We'll see what happens, right?
Okay, yeah, I got a little idea. Now this one, it'll trip you out, but if you step out on faith, like just suggest it to someone, because this is something I did. Like, be like, okay, you pray something. God, if you're real, um, like, and just throw something out there, like, you know, uh, within 2 hours, let me find something, like just something like that, and just keep, just pray for it and believe and see if it happens. Like, you'll be surprised. Stuff like that. Like, it's just these little bitty, like, okay, because it gets your mind going. You're like, okay, well, that could be a coincidence. So then, you do another one. You're like, okay,
Right.
just give God a little, see if he'll do it. See if he'll do it for you.
Not like a test, but like sincerely or genuinely search and look. Like really search and look. And you're right, bro. 'Cause that's happened to me in 2017, and I'm just like, yo, what's the big deal, man? I'm working two jobs. okay, I'm trying to take care of my girl here. I'm being responsible, but yet I'm not happy. Like, why am I still upset? What is going on? Something is not right. Yo, what's going on? You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, cool. I went and I remember the Matthew 7:7, right? If you seek, you shall find. If you ask, the door will be open, right? So
See, yeah,
yeah, so I said, you know what? I want the full truth. I want all the truth. No corners. I want every single truth. I want all the truth of the world, history, mankind, women. Like I want it all. I want all the truth. Yeah, I got this. Yeah, that was a tough 3 months, bro. That 3 months came, bro. I was like, yo, I didn't know. I didn't know the world was this messed up. You know what I mean? Like, you get into the Baphomet, Ham, Shem. I have
yeah,
Hathor, and I'm like, what? How in the? How are they doing this? They have this thing mapped out. And then you
yeah,
realize, wait a minute, this has been the plan the whole time. The devil's been on this from time. It's just like, oh, it's like, and then and it never stops. It's gonna keep on coming. Once I prayed that prayer, bro, it's gonna keep on coming. It's never gonna stop. It's
yeah,
never gonna stop.
yeah,
Remember,
and yeah,
Even Ringo said this, and it's just like, and when you hear something and you're like, okay, that is true. Like, you just know it's true. Remember, Ringo said, he said, if you try to debate the devil in the Bible, he'll beat you easily. I'm like, yo, that is true.
mhm.
Like, that makes perfect sense. Like, you're not beating the devil in a Bible debate.
No, that's stupid.
He'll never win.
You think you're gonna out debate a guardian cherub? I mean, humble yourself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Humble a little bit, please.
Yo, because go to the scriptures, we know because he goes to and fro from the earth. He talks to the Father. You don't think he knows that the Father has a scripture out there? You don't think he knows that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's even quoting it too. He quotes like, yo, man, that right there is just like, that's the war right there, man.
Yeah, and everyone's in it. See, this is what I'm saying. You don't people, if people really like understood what the war actually is, like, you don't there is no out. Like, if you you're in it. His war is against the woman's seed. He hates, you're the image of God. He hates it. He can't touch God, so he's got, the only thing he can do is destroy the image. It says it in the word. Like, it doesn't matter. If you opt out, well, I'm agnostic. Cool, he's got you. White witchcraft, he's got you. Evil witchcraft working with demons, he's got you. There's no other option. There's two sources of power, and you're going to serve one. And all default worship goes directly to Satan. You're in it anyway. There is no out. You can't opt out. There is no such thing as oblivion. All that crap. Anything. You're not just going to be reincarnated or become like all this crap. Like that's not even on the table. That's not on the table.
Yeah.
So you're in it. These things have been messing with you the whole time. They're not going to stop. They will reward you in this life, but it is such a backhanded thing. You know.
It is.
You are trading eternity with the King of Glory for stuff that you have for whatever little time that they allow you when you make that contract.
Yeah, for 2 crackers.
Yeah, you're selling your birthright for a bowl of soup.
A bowl of soup. There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's yeah, man. And these are some of the truths, man. That's gonna get out there regardless. And we know. And the thing is, though, like I've being in this for so, I guess I don't know how long I've been in it now. Like to this level, I mean, whatever. I was in Christianity and I was in Catholicism, right? But it was like, do I say surface level or do I just say above surface level? Either way, barely scratching the surface, right? After going into it this deep, I understand that even with these type of messages, or even if it were really truthful messages, and you know when you hear something true, like yo, that is so true. But we know some people ain't gonna listen. They're just not gonna listen, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
then there's gonna be so many decisions to make, like cross paths to make in terms of what do you call it, like having that faith. Because someone you're saying to yourself, so God, would you really put me through this? Like, is God really here? Is this what's supposed to represent Jesus Christ? You know, those are some big testers. Those are some big testers. You're just like, I'm going through anyways. I'm following through. Let's get it. I didn't come all this way to go back. Let's get it. Right? So, yeah, man.
yeah. Well, buckle up.
2025
But
is coming.
what's
Supposed
that?
to, 2025 is coming. It's supposed to be a big year, man.
Hmm.
It's supposed to be a big year. And,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be, it may mark the 6,000 year of the world. If you're a creationist, that is.
Yeah. If you don't believe in the Big Bang and cow farts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. I don't have much else to add. Yeah, man. Like your testimony was definitely it was a great one, man. It touched me. It really did touch me. It brought me back to some what I was going through in my journey. Being with Christ. So, and I'm glad. Like I'm glad you shared it, man. Like it really did it's making me think a whole lot. So I can't wait to get sister's testimony on this. She's gonna be fun, man. That's gonna be fun, man, because man, after she the amount of stuff she shared with me already, like that little bit, I'm like, yo, this is crazy, you know. So that's gonna
Yes,
be a
sir.
good one. That's gonna be a good one, man. Yeah, man. I like it too. I like, what? I like doing it. I like listening in on it. I like hearing people's journey, and yeah, man. It's fun to hear. I mean, obviously, the trials and tribulation is like, wow, like I can't believe this actually happens. But that's good to know that it does happen. So we can approach things the right way. So we know, oh, brother Jason went through this. Okay, so I know this brother is going through something similar. Okay, if I can maybe approach it this way, because I know I know the mindset he's in, the mind state he's in. So he needs to be guided that direction. So because of this testimony, that can help me understand how to approach this brother or sister. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, like these are people. We're not battling the flesh, and that is the one of the. It's like it's this huge area. That we as believers struggle in. It is like like I was telling you before. It is so easy to get in that flesh, and now you're like, oh well, they're a heathen, or oh they believe this doctrine, or oh they wear a bonnet, or and it like it's crazy, like all that love, and you're ready to come with it, and then you find out that one thing, and all of a sudden it's just like the switch gets flipped, and you're like, well, psh. And I'm like, is that really the love of the Father? Like, see, you've already you want to cast your stone, and everyone wants to do that. They're like, you're gonna go to hell, you blah 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 blah. Like, okay, then what do you go to hell for? What do we stone you for? Did Jesus even come to you like that? Like, you are misrepresenting the kingdom. I mean, you're making Jesus look just ridiculous. It's because let's say what Satan's servants, they serve him more diligently than most believers serve the Father, straight up.
And to be fair, it's more easier for them too because they're in the flesh all the time anyway. So they have their, you know what I mean? Like they're kind of devoid of like that accountability.
Mm, I don't know. Like I don't know if I could agree with that. They have to the things that they have to do to get the next level of power to get that. I mean, the rituals are very intense. They're very disgusting. I don't really want to go into a bunch of them, but like, trust me, you got to put that out. You got to put it in. It is, you do a lot. You do a lot to get that.
Okay.
You're not just going to casually like, oh, Satan, what up? Like, no, that's not how it works.
Mm.
Sheila can tell you. Yeah, she can tell you more about that. Like I said, she knows more about it from like that side of it.
Yeah, because she has similar similar dealings, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. And even the stuff that you're going through, I didn't get hit maybe as hard as you, but definitely like similar stuff happened to me, and those type of like looking for a way out, that like losing your mind type of thing definitely was there. So those are all like demonic forces operating within you. So
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I can definitely relate. And again, getting your mind right, man, because your mind is so unstable. So yeah, man. Anyways, man, I got nothing else. If you want to share anything else, let me know.
No, we're good. And like most of this has just been us kind of shooting it. Just thanks again for doing the testimony.
Praise the Most High.
It's been really, really good for me.
Good. Yeah, man. Anyone else out there, if you want to testimony to share, please, I'm here to help. Of course, on your time, whenever you're ready, or whenever the Holy Spirit moves. But I definitely enjoy it, and anything to help the kingdom grow. So yeah, that's what it's about here. So, anyways, I'll just pray us out. And so, yeah, Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for this beautiful gathering here. And we just ask you to just protect everyone, the ones doing your will, Father, and that we just help us endure this whole journey all the way to the end. Hallelujah. Amen.
Hallelujah.
All right, my brother.
All right.
Just yeah, so maybe next week. I mean, I don't know about the I don't know about like the Friday thing. Like I mean, only because I had time I only had time today, this Friday. But like, I don't know if I'll be doing this like in every Friday. I know some groups do it every Friday because the Friday is the Shabbat. So, and again, I'm not trying to really copy anyone's model, but I mean, at the same time, it's respect to them. It's like, hey, listen, they found a nice model here. It works, so it's not bad to really use it. It's kind of a sign of respect. But I don't know if I'm gonna be like every Friday on doing this. Like it's just I'm not gonna have like an obligation type of thing that way. So.
Right.
But yeah. Anyways, man, I'll see you in the next one. All right.
Yes, sir.
Bye.